Peace and blessings, everyone. This is Naseed Gifted coming to you live from PBS Media Studios. And today we have a very, very important topic for you. Today we will be discussing how to master the art of selling anything, part one. So there's actually two parts to this vlog, but we're going to be covering part one today. So once again, I just want to quickly introduce myself. My name is Naseed Gifted. I am an educator, an engineer, and writer of a Afrofuturism series called P.B.Soldier. And we're going to go through this whole number of steps of how to master the art of selling anything. But first, let me just share a quick story with you. So upon learning this information that I learned from Tom Hopkins' presentation on the art of selling anything, I have to share a personal experience. So it's about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, we are doing a Comic-Con circuit, selling comic books all over the country, basically. I go to Maryland, Silver Springs, Maryland, where we go to CreatorCon. CreatorCon, man, it was a phenomenal event. You had hundreds of individuals there. But what happened was, I got my presentation, got my regular flow and everything. And to be honest, I didn't sell not one book. I'm talking about one book, one poster, nothing. So, you got to imagine driving 3 hours from New Jersey to Maryland, go down there, you set up your presentation, and then you just don't sell anything. So with that, I had to do a lot of reflecting. And when I did a lot of reflecting, based on that, I actually did some research. So upon that research, I stumbled upon the master of art of selling anything. So regardless of where I go, with the setup, that we are able to be successful. And we're not talking about just selling product. We're talking about selling ideas, selling your relationship, all of those things. This all is inclusive in this presentation for today. So I'm ready. I hope you're ready. But before we get started, please put your name and location in the comments below. Put your name and location in the comments below. Also, if you like the content, please make sure you share this, tag a friend, that needs this presentation in order to be successful, especially as entrepreneurs, and even in your relationships. You need to be able to use some of these techniques as well as concepts to be able to, flourish in your relationship, in the art of selling, all of those things. So how to master the art of selling anything. So there are three types of questions that you're going to learn about. One is the tie down, two is the double-headed question, and three is the porcupine. So the porcupine, it's like a hot potato. You gotta catch it and then throw it right back. So we're going to talk about all three types. So the tie down question is a question that demands a yes response. So, for example, if you're talking about you want to own a quality product, don't you? That's going to demand a yes response. And then when we talk about tie-down questions, when you're doing a presentation, you only want to use one tie-down per half an hour or two per hour for every hour of the presentation. So if you have a 2-hour presentation, you only want to use 4 tie-down questions that requires or demands a yes response. The second type of question that you want to do is the double-headed question. You always get a time where you actually have an opportunity to meet with an individual, right? And you give them all of these options. And you say, hey, I would like to meet with you. And it was like, oh, I'm tied up or whatever the case may be. But what you want to do is you want to ask a two-headed question. So the two-headed question is something like this. Would you like for me to meet you in your office or meet you at home? See, now you done gave them a requirement, a choice of, one or two things. And then if neither one of those, they will give you what works for them. Also, if you're, setting up a meeting for the first time, One example of that also would be, does Tuesday afternoon or Thursday morning work for you? Now, if neither one of those work, they'll let you know, well, maybe Friday morning. Now you are getting the response that you're looking for. So that's what a two-headed question looks like. All right. So, and, when you, in a relationship sense, and you want to throw out a two-headed question, you want to take your wife, your loved one out to eat, for instance. And, sometimes you're thinking about, oh, where are we going to go to eat? So you be like, honey, do you want uh, Chinese or Italian tonight? Do you want Jamaican or vegan? Now, of course, if neither one of those work, she'll give you the choice that she is looking for. So those are examples of two-headed questions, and that's how you could actually use it in your relationship as well. You probably get your kids to master that too, because when they go out for ice cream, Dad, do you want me to get the chocolate ice cream or the vanilla ice cream? And then this way, you like, oh man, I'm compelled to get in your child some ice cream either way. And then we got the porcupine. So the porcupine question, that's the question that is the one that you want to throw right back at someone. So say, for instance, you're selling a house and the buyer is asking, they see a swing set in the backyard and they say, does the swing set come with the house? And that's one of those things, like, you're not sure which way you want it to go. So you throw it right back at them. Would you like the swing set to come with the house? And then that way you get the response. They'll let you know if they like the swing set, if they don't like the swing set, if that's the determining factor of them selling the house. Like if you're doing a car sale, they ask you, does it come in black? Would you like it in black? And then of course you get, so that's one of those questions you throw right back at them. You throw it right back at them. And that's what we call a porcupine question. That's the porcupine. So with this, we're going to go into some other things. So it's 10 basic fears, 10 basic fears. So there's 10 basic fears in sales. And we're going to talk about those very briefly. So number one, people are afraid of salesmen. People don't want to be sold. They want experts, they want advisors, but they don't want to be sold. They want to be able to like you, trust you, and want to be able to listen to you, that you're going to be giving them a quality product. Also, number two, people are afraid of making mistakes. They're afraid of making mistakes. So it's always about the dollar. So when you asking them to invest to buy your product, they're afraid of making a mistake. So those are two things that prevent people from wanting to endorse or buy your product. Number three, people are afraid of being lied to. It's important to be honest and true about whatever product that you are or service that you are providing. People are afraid of accruing debt. And we're going to talk about, debt and, and changing language and everything. And then also people are afraid of losing face. When you are selling your product or service to a couple, husband and wife, father, son, mother, daughter, they don't want to lose face in front of the other member or the other partner. So you want to make everyone feel important. You want to make everyone feel important. And you want to empathize. You want to empathize with each and every member. Number six, afraid of the unknown. You got to be able to educate consumers on the benefits of your product so they can feel ownership. Once again, if they like you, trust you, then they will want to listen to you. Also, people are afraid of feelings from their past experiences. So that goes back to being sold. They had a past experience and they are hovering over that experience over and over again. So sometimes it has nothing to do with you, but something that they experienced in the past. And then there's fears based on prejudice. So there are prejudices that, they have embedded from generations. Mother told them not to sign anything. There was a bad experience, with a salesman. Like, that has been embedded in them from when they were a little child and everything. So if their parents had a bad experience, they let their children know so they won't be sold, and it all goes back to that whole idea of being sold. And once again, if they like you, trust you, then they will want to listen to you. And then you also are always educating the consumer on the benefits and always being honest about your product. Always being honest about your product. You don't want to give them the miracle drug or anything like that and give them stuff that it doesn't do. Number 9, fears based on a third party. That goes into that whole legacy piece where we talk about the parents, the friends, etc. Or how will my friends feel if I purchase this product or service? They're thinking about all of those other things. And then the number 10 fear in sales is fear of the words you say. So that is where we're going to talk about in part 2 about there are 8 words to avoid in sales. So when we talk about cost or price, down payment, those things get people like real jittery and everything. So those are the 10 basic fears in sales. I hope you enjoyed this. Hey, like it, share it, tag a friend if they need this information. We are constantly putting out content each and every week. So we thank you all for tuning in. Tune in next week as we are going to cover how to master the art of selling anything, part 2. Remember, stay focused and always resist. Peace. Don't forget to subscribe to P.B.Soldier.